Hello and welcome to another lesson in our VBA programming once again. And thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. And in this lesson, we are going to write basic macros to do simple stuffs. Okay, like writing macros to add a workbook, writing macros to select a cell range, writing macros to write something to what values or write values in cells, and all this stuff. It's going to be fun and all that. So basically, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please don't forget to do that. Just subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can receive notifications anytime we upload new tutorials. And also don't forget to watch other previous tutorials on school management system, VBA programming, Python programming, blog and WordPress and all that. They are all there, so you just watch and explore through them. And thank you so much. Now let's quickly delve into today's lessons and see how things are going to be. It's going to be fun. See you there. Hello and welcome to another lesson in our VBA, that is Visual Basic for Application Programming course. And in this lesson, we're going to write a very simple program, very simple one, that is putting together all what we have done so far. As we stated earlier, we said we want to write our own codes. We don't want to copy and paste codes. So that is exactly what we are doing now. We can achieve this without practice. I would want to believe that all what we have done previously, you are able to practice them. You can write those simple macros to add a workbook, close a workbook, to select a range, to write value to a range and all that. Basically what we have done, I believe you have practiced all that, because that is the only way we can make it and make it easy without any stress. Without practice, we can achieve that. So in this lesson, we're going to combine a few things we've done so far and see how you can write a simple program like maybe activating a workbook and then let's say activating it and writing value to it, what you've already done so far. We're going to just add something to it and then we see how we can copy content from one sheet to another. So basically that is that. So let's just open our workbook and see how we can do all that. So I have our workbook open, so just Alt F11 to have our code editor open at the left side so that we see how we can write our code. Now let's say we want to write some values to one of the workbooks in a multiple open workbooks. So let's say we have multiple workbooks open, so here we only have one. So let's write a simple macro to add some more workbooks. I think you can do that, so I think just do that by yourself. You can pause the video and try doing that. So to do that, you just say let's write a simple new sub procedure for that, so we can give it a name like demonstration, which is demo 1, and then good. So in between here, when we write simple macro to add a workbook, okay, so to do that we say application, okay, application dot workbooks, okay, workbooks dot add. So when we write this macro, we should be able to add a new workbook for us. So we add it. So another workbook is added, another one is added. So you can comment this out now. Now that we've gotten additional workbooks, we can comment this out so that we don't have to create additional workbooks again. So far we have book 1 and book 2 added, so that is that. Now let's say we want to like I said, we want to write a value to one of the workbooks we've just maybe open, but for now let's deal with, let's say we want to write, we are in the VBA training workbook now, that is where we are working in. So let's say we want to write to book 2. Okay, so let's just bring it here. So let's have VBA training covering it. Perfect. And let's also have book 1 covering it as well. Good. So like I said, we want to write to book 2. Okay, so to do that, call on the application. So it's application dot workbooks. So you just tab it over. Which of the workbooks? So the name of the workbook. Okay, so you say book 2. Sorry, book 2. So first of all, we need to activate it, right? So you say dot activate. So we tab it over. It's now activated. After that, now we need to make a reference to the sheet, a particular sheet on which we want to write. So far the book 1, sorry, the book 2 we are writing to has only one sheet. Okay, so we're going to refer to that particular sheet and then we assign a value to that. So let's do that. So we call on the sheets. So Control G. So we say sheets. Then into brackets, then sheet 1. So the name of the sheet 1. Then we say dot activate. So we need to activate sheet 1 too. Sorry. Perfect. Now the two things are activated. The workbook is activated. We've made reference to the workbook and we have activated it. Call on the sheet 1. We have activated. Now they are ready to take our action or to take our commands now. So we need to select the range in which we want to write the value to. Okay. So to do that, you can say range into brackets. Then you can say maybe h10. Then dot value is equal to, then it's a string. Okay, so you can say KingTech. Okay, sorry, KingTech. Perfect. So we are done with that. So now if we should run this, let's just go ahead and check something here. Let's click here. Let's use F8 to run it. So let's see. First of all, we are on book 1. Okay, you can see here book 1. That if we should run this line, book 2 will be activated. So let's see how that happens. You can see book 2 is activated now. If we should run this, it will activate sheet 1, which is already even activated, but I don't want it like that. So let me just add another sheet before I run this line. So if I press F8, you can see sheet 1 is activated now. Okay, if I should run this line, let's see h10 is somewhere here. Perfect. Or here, if I can see it well. When I run this line, pressing the F8 key to assign KingTech to that particular range. So just do that so you can see. Perfect, it's working. Now what if we want to let's just stop this. Perfect. Now let's say we want to write to this same workbook, not a different workbook. So in that case, we don't need to write this application.workbooks again. So how do we do that? So we say, so let's comment this out. What we've just done is writing to a different workbook. Okay, so now we want to write to the same workbook. So to do that, we say this workbook, Control J. So this workbook, just tab it over. So we need to activate it. So don't activate, sorry. Don't activate. Now we need to refer to the sheet. So let's look at the sheet we have in our VBA training workbook. We have sheet 1. So let me try and name it. Okay, we are going to use the GPA, the sheet called GPA. So perfect. So let me just bring this one on top. This on top. So we know the sheet we're going to refer to. Okay, so we have activated the book now. Okay, so we go to the sheets. Which of the sheet we're going to use? The name of the sheet is what? GPA. So say GPA. Then dot also activate. Perfect. So that one too will be activated. Now the range which we want to write a value to, so we call on the range into brackets. Let's say B5. Okay, so say B5 dot value. Sorry, dot value. Tab it over. is equal to programming. Perfect. So if we should run this, so currently we are on book 2. Okay, let's be on this. So you press F8. So that's what's going to happen now. VBA training is activated. If we should run this, the GPA sheet to be activated. Let's press F8 once again. So the GPA sheet is activated. If we should run this, B5 is going to be assigned a value called programming. So let's run that. Perfect. So that's that. It's working. So we can stop our macro now and then we move on. Now with this, we can even write this using a very just one simple line of code. Okay, or what we've just written here, 1 2 3. We can do that using just a single line of code. So how do we do that? Let's see. Just comment this out as well. Good. So now to do that, this workbook, so Control G, good practices. Let's speed up your work. Tab it over. This workbook.sheets. The sheets from the following workbook, this particular workbook we have. So we want to refer to that sheet. Which of the sheets? Let's say the sheet called error. You can see there's a sheet called error here. So error. We close the brackets. Let me say dot range. The range on that particular sheet. Okay. Into brackets. So let's say we want to write to in F9. Okay, on that particular sheet. So sorry, F9 dot value is equal to perfection. Perfect. So if we should run this at once, it will just activate this particular sheet, and then within the range F9 it will assign a value perfection to that. So let's run that. So let's check. So we can see that is it. Now you can see that it didn't activate because we didn't write a code to activate it before we even do that. So it will write to it, but just that we will have to go to that sheet before we would. So let's go back again and rerun the code. So we can be on this. Let's be here. We run it again. So let's go back to error. So you can see perfection is assigned to that particular range. So basically that is that. Now let's move on. We save your work so that you don't have to. Now let's say we have some content on a sheet. Let's look for one of the sheet to do that. Okay, let's use sheet 8. Okay, now let's have some content here. Okay, and then we try to write a macro to copy that content. All right, try to write a macro to copy that content from this sheet to another sheet. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Perfect. Let's see. So let's have our content. Let's say we have serial number here, name here, and then class here, then age here. Perfect. So let me just squeeze this a bit, expand this a bit. So this is okay. So serial number 1 2. We select this and just add it. Maybe 7 students is enough. Now the names are the Abumoda, Puma, Johnson, Razak Yusuf, Isa Ali, Fatihawa, Kande Mumuni, Kofi Mensa. Perfect. So their classes, let's just assign some random classes for them. So we have this, and then we have that, we have this, we have that. Perfect. There are their ages. Say 12, 10, 13, 11, 15, 10, 09. Perfect. So we have this. So we want to copy this content from this particular sheet. Okay, then we go ahead and then paste it inside sheet 7. So let me just give it a name. Okay, so like students. Okay, another 10 students. Perfect. So we're going to copy it from this particular sheet and then paste it here. So let's write the macro. So to do that, let's close this particular book. Okay, book 1 is closed. Book 2 should also be closed. We don't want to say whatever there is. So that's that. So let's comment this out. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and execute that. So to do that, first of all, we need to talk of the range. Okay, so which of the sheet are we talking about? We want to use sheet 8 here. Perfect, sheet 8, that's where the content is. So we say sheet, so control J, we have sheet 8, sorry, all the sheets, control J, we have sheet, which of the sheet is sheet 8. Okay, sheet 8 dot sorry, the range from which what's the name, the content is. Okay, the range from which the content is. First of all, if supposing we are not on the sheet, we are on a different worksheet, first of all, what do you guess we can do? Or we need to activate it. But in this case, we are already on it, so there's no need we activate it. Okay, we are already on it. It's aware that we want to do something to it. Okay, so sheet 8, what's the name, sheet 8 dot range dot range into brackets A1 through to what, D8. Okay, let's do it. Okay, it's A1 through to D8. Perfect, A1 through to D8, that is it, from here through to here. Let's do that. Sorry, dot range A1 through to D8 dot copy. Perfect. Okay, so let's try running this macro and see something. So you can see that it has just copied that range. The copying is an action. Perfect, this line is working. We don't need it now. Let's do away with the copying. Perfect. So let's go back and then write code to paste it. So where are we pasting it? Say we are pasting it in this student sheet. Okay, so we go ahead and let's see, so control G shows the sheets. Which of the sheets, talking of the name of the sheet is student. Okay, students dot range, sorry, dot range into brackets. Okay, dot range into brackets A1 through to what, D8, right? A1 through to D8, sorry, then dot what, paste. So say paste special, sorry, paste special. Then after pasting it, we just want to paste just the values and nothing else. Okay, in some instances we can copy content together with the formatting and everything. So with that, you may decide, do you want to paste it together with the formatting? If no, then you have to just paste only the values, and that's what we want to do. We just want to paste just the values. Okay, so to add that, we say what, Excel paste values. Perfect. So let's see how we can achieve that. Okay, so let's be on this particular SAP here. Use F8 key. Perfect. Let's see. So you can see that it has copied this. Good. So if we should run it using the F8 again, then you see that it's pasted here perfectly. You can see that. Sorry. Let me just stop this and then we come back here. That's copied from here, then it's pasted here. Now let me just do something. Let me just clear this. Okay. Let me clear this content. Okay, let me just clear this content. Now I would want to, sorry, let's come back to this. Let's assume we are on sheet 1 before we want to do this. So with that, we need to activate our sheet. Okay, which of the sheet? That is sheet 8. So we say control J, sheet, to brackets the index or the name of the sheet. Sorry, sheet 8 dot what, activate. So after that, so let's run it now and see. So now we are on a different sheet. So the sheet 8 is not aware that I want to do something to it. So let's run it now and see how it's going to be. So using F8 key, so let's be here, F8. So the moment we run this, sheet 8 is going to be activated. sheet 8 is activated. Now the second line, the moment we run this, it's going to copy the content. Okay, F8. So the content is copied. When you run the third line, it's going to paste it. So it's pasted. Sorry, close this and then we are going to go. So that is how we can copy and paste. Sorry, copy and paste content from one sheet to another. So you can, if those who were part of our stock inventory system, you could remember that there were some instances when we add some items, when we go to some sheets, the items are already on those sheets. That is what is happening there. We have made references to those sheets and then we inform them that whatever content we have on this sheet, please just create a copy of that and send it to this particular sheet. That is how it works. When we begin writing or maybe creating our applications, we'll get to know all these things. So what I would want you to take away from this is this: you now know how to maybe copy content from one sheet to another. You now know how to activate a workbook from multiple workbook, how to activate a sheet from multiple worksheets, then how to write content to those sheets, and how to copy content from one sheet to another. So keep practicing all these petty things, because we're putting them together to form a whole, put them together to write a complex programs. Okay, so that is that. The only way we can enjoy whilst we move on is by practicing. You don't practice and then we tend to add more and you get confused at the long run and frustration setting, and that is what we don't want. Okay, so keep practicing. So I would want to end this tutorial here. What I want you to practice now in this particular video is that get a content, write a macro. You can even fill the whole sheet with a lot of content, select the range, activate the sheets, have multiple sheets open, activate that, because we can have a workbook having thousands of sheets. Okay, you may not know the sheet on which you are, so you need to know that you are on this sheet for a particular sheet. To take an action, you need to activate it and then you follow by the action you want it to perform and all that. So that is what I would want you to take away from that. So basically that is that. So I will end this tutorial here, and then until our next one. Our next one, we're going to be creating a cell based user form. Okay, we are going to combine all we have learned here and then create that. So till our next lesson, I say thank you very much for watching and bye for now.